First of all, thank you for having me here. I'm glad to be here with all you guys presenting at this amazing conference. You know, first I want to tell you just a little bit story about myself because I know the industry is full of experts that became experts, not longer than a year ago. So I've been in this industry since quite a while. 2 years ago, I've launched first fully decentralized lottery that has no company behind it, that is, self-regulated by the smart contracts. It has the current jackpot of more than $25 million, and it's working and operating. And we issued 2 years ago security tokens that are paying dividends to users. So that was the first project in blockchain that I did. Prior to blockchain, I was one of the I think one of the largest content distributor, digital content distributor in Warsaw, in Poland, where I come from. So I used to basically make money on data, that is, being the middleman and the publisher, running the ads, basically monetizing people data. And then I figured that the whole industry is all wrong. And then when I discovered blockchain, I figured this is the ultimate solution to reshape the current state that we have. Because I would love to live in a world where that is more human-centric, that values the ultimate resource, which is basically human. And ever since we were born, we produce so many data, and we don't own none of this. So I think this should be changed. So we started to work on IOVO, which is Internet of Value Omniledger. And basically, as I said, that data is a commodity. So, it's been out there saying that it's going to be more valuable than oil. Now, what about it? So, all those companies, since they're collecting so many amounts of data, worth of billions of dollars, the funny thing is they're just using basically maybe 1% of the data that they collect. The industry is, first of all, it's unfair because we have only 10 or 20 big largest industry players that are monetizing all those data, and they are not distributing their profits within the users. The data is basically insecure because it's the security of the data relates to centralization, the central points that own the data, and we had so many scandals around it. We had Cambridge Analytica, which was one of the largest outrage. It was actually one of the whistleblowers from Cambridge Analytica, Brittany Kaiser. She's my partner and an advisor to the project. So we've been advocating the industry about the data sovereignty issues and about the owning your data since at least 2 years. We've been organizing conferences and making sure that people understand that they should own their data. The way we see how to fix it is by technology. So and by saying that, I'm not saying that we should fix it by providing another middleman that will just act as a safeguard for our data, and then he'll make sure that we get something out of it. No, by fixing is providing the whole new type of infrastructure capable of running, applications like Facebook, like web browsers, whatever the use case is, to make sure that every party that is connected to the infrastructure is being fairly treated. So So we created IOVO, which is basically the infrastructure providing all the layers necessary for all those upcoming dApps that are willing to leverage on storing basically the data into distributed and decentralized ledgers. And by saying that, how to store the data in the most safest way is basically to own it on your own device. And basically this is what we provide. Since the data is fully decentralized, all the nodes, all the data is stored within the nodes that are part of the network. And this is the security behind it. The transparency issue, obviously, it's blockchain, so it's totally transparent. The privacy issue is what I just covered. So since I have, I think, just 3 minutes, so I'll just focus maybe on the most important fact, which is the scalability, because the first generations of blockchains, they didn't give us much power when it comes to transactions, and this is, I think, the key issue. So we are using DAC technology. We are running on 256 different chains, plus one master chain that is responsible on handling all those operations, because since each operation is a transaction, if you search for some data, it's automatically recorded as a transaction. So that that transaction speed is, I think, this is the most valuable part. And the other main issue is the consensus mechanism. So first generation of blockchains, they use the consensus of proof of work, of proof of stake, which in my opinion is also pretty vulnerable because it leads to ultimate centralization as well. Now, since we do believe that it should be more human-centric, we created our own consensus model, which is called the proof of value. And how proof of value works is basically the more value you give to the network in terms of your data that is being scored, the bigger node you become. So you become more powerful in terms of validating other transactions, and you get incentivized in a proper way for that. The proof of value in action is basically rewarding each participant of the network. So everyone gets a fair trade. A company that has built the app, first of all, whenever it's going to use someone's data, it has to pay, and the payment is distributed to the person that is using the app and giving or not giving his data, and of course the nodes that are running the network. Obviously, to run, to make it a success, you need applications that are driving masses. Currently, the blockchain state, we don't have any killer app. The only killer app when it comes to blockchain is basically Bitcoin, and that's it. When you talk to people, they, what's the killer app of blockchain? There is none. So that being said, we provide the infrastructure for all those upcoming applications to run seamlessly on IOVO that basically will not require any knowledge related to blockchain or any knowledge related to tech to run and basically to engage with the users. So we are currently launching two applications that are willing to be projects for basically for masses. This is a slide that shows that how IOVO works. I have only 5 or 10 seconds left, so my closing remark is, Mark Zuckerberg once said that he has to move fast and break things. So I think he broke a thing or two, and now it's time to fix it, and well, this is what we are here for. Thank you.